Well, that was a couple hours I'll never get back. Oh, this game is so bad. Hello and welcome to Quickfire Reviews, your no BS, straight to the point entertainment review channel. Today we're talking about Bleak Faith Forsaken. Make sure you stick around to the end to hear my full rating. But first, we might as well get into it. This game, where do I even start? So all of the previews I saw for this made it look like it was kind of maybe going to be a medieval Souls-like kind of game, but there's this weird intro video where you're like an alien, I think, and it shows this weird futuristic civilization. There's no context for the opening video, and it's really doesn't do a great job of setting up the game. It feels kind of weird, which I guess sums up the rest of the game in general. It is a Souls-like game, meaning that everything can kill you within a couple hits. You've got your armor, you collect gear, you level up, all that good stuff. It's a familiar format, but man, is this thing ever clunky. Wow, is it clunky. It's pretty hard to play this game. I will say that the game actually looks okay. Graphics are decent. The aesthetic is, I don't know, kind of interesting, I guess, but the environment just seems kind of bland and empty and bleak. I guess maybe that was intentional with the name. I don't know, but yeah, it looks okay, but I didn't like the environments. When it comes to the gameplay, this is where things really start to fall apart. So first of all, they just kind of plant you in the game. They have that weird opening video, and they don't give you any context, and you have to kind of go figure out what's going on. I know that some games that follow this format, like we'll say Elden Ring, do that same thing, except in Elden Ring I feel like they at least gave you a little bit of guidance. In this, they just kind of plop you in this super weird environment. You're expected to know how to do everything. What makes it worse is that the controls don't actually work all the time. So you're fighting not only the technical side of things not really working, but also a lack of explanation. The combat feels okay. If you really like the Dark Souls type of combat, you'll probably have a little bit of fun here. But it feels really janky. Like the animations aren't great, the dodging mechanics aren't super smooth. It doesn't feel like it packs a punch. It's just kind of like dodge, dodge, attack, dodge, dodge, attack. Also, the stamina meter in this is pretty unforgiving. Like if you swing an attack and you don't make it into a combo, it drains more stamina. So it's this weird thing where it makes more sense to like wait until you can actually string a combo together to do more damage. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know one of my biggest pet peeves of these types of games is inventory management. I hate having to go into my inventory, looking at gear, comparing stats. Like, unless it's really cool gear and the stats actually make a difference, don't give me a bunch of trash stuff that I don't care about. I gotta say, the menus in this game and the inventory management might be the worst I've ever seen. The design is super bland, it just doesn't feel fun, it feels really clunky as you're navigating. Yeah, just... I did not like the menus in this game, I'll put it that way. I mentioned before that the controls are also kind of weird and don't really work all that well all the time. It's sort of inconsistent. I was trying to play with a controller and found that for some reason I couldn't scale walls, for example. It was like really weird. I had to switch to my keyboard and then I could do it. So I don't know if that was just a gamepad configuration thing. I did try to change it in the menu, but didn't have a lot of luck. Now, if we want to talk about the technical side of the game, it actually runs okay. I was able to maintain my FPS for the most part. There were a couple drops here and there, but honestly, it was actually pretty decent. That said, if we include the overall experience from a technical standpoint, it just still feels really, really clunky. It just doesn't feel smooth. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of polish on this. If you're into this kind of game, you're a really big fan of the Dark Souls kinds of games, maybe check this one out when you've got some downtime, but you're probably gonna put it like way to the back of the line of your back catalog. There are other games that follow this format that aren't considered AAA that you could play, like Steel Rising was better, Thymesia was better, so I would check those ones out first. Alright, so with all of that in mind, Quickfire Reviews is gonna give Bleak Faith Forsaken a 3 out of 10. This is the lowest score that I've given for a game so far, so take that for what you will. That wraps this one up, so tell me what you thought about it in the comments. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I hope I earned your like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next one, so come on back. Quickfire out.